We're the Divas of Divination. I'm Mary.
And I'm Maria.
And today's show, we're going to have Sandra Mosley, our Diva astrologer, join us from the 50th state of Hawaii. She's going to give us an update on the astrological sequences or movements for September 2015. Today we'll also be giving 2 lucky winners readings. One will be in studio and one will be calling out to. So we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Hi, this is Mary with the Divas of Divination, and welcome to the astrology portion of our show.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi, Maria. Hi, Mary.
Can you tell us what's going on for the month of September 2015?
It's a doozy of a month.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on for the ride. What's going on?
Yes, we have 2 eclipses this month. I'll get to that in just a minute. So we're going to start this month with Venus-Mars conjunction, which means love is in the air, high creative energy. If you're into any of the arts, things are going full storm now. First week of September, Venus is still retrograde, so we still may have some old friends or relationships from the past showing up. That's not new, that's been going on since July 24th. But September 5th, it turns direct, and then things start moving forward. So any of your creative projects or love affairs that have just felt frustrated, after the 5th of September, they'll move forward. We have a new moon, which is a solar eclipse on September 12th, and solar eclipses are biggies. We have 2 of them every year, one in the spring currently, and this one in the late summer. Solar eclipse make everybody nervous. Things happen in the outside world. You see big events associated with solar eclipses. This one's in Virgo, so it's all about health and employment. You can expect to hear stuff about that in the news. On the 17th of September, Mercury, the ruler of Gemini and Virgo, goes retrograde. It'll be retrograde until October 9th. So you want to double think any papers that you're going to sign, any cars that you're going to buy. If you can put off any of that until October 9th, that would be my recommendation. And then at the end of the month, we have a lunar eclipse on September 27th. Lunar eclipses happen more internally than externally. So instead of seeing things out in the world, it's going to be like all of that turmoil takes place inside. Again, these eclipses are times where the energy shifts and we let go of old things and we begin new things. Kind of a great month for the divas to start their TV show.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to it. So let me ask you a question in regards to the Mercury retrograde, because we get so many questions about this. So your recommendation is not to sign contracts or do anything like that and just kind of wait if they can?
I'm saying that if you have a choice to take that time to really analyze and review what you want to say or do and what you want out of like a contract that you're signing. If you've already done your due diligence, I'm saying, don't let that stop you from doing anything if you've already done your research and you know it's right. But when you're reading that contract, read it 2 or 3 times. Have somebody else read it, because those are things that, it's the details that get overlooked. This Mercury retrograde is going to have more to do with partnerships, I think. So really communication with others and with partners is where the mix-ups are more likely to happen.
Okay, well that looks very interesting. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the month and see what happens for, I'm really excited for our show. So I think it's time, and I hope the world's ready for us. So we'll see what happens there. So thank you very much for the information.
Thank you, Sandra.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We'll be back in just a few minutes with our next segment. Hi, we're back with the general card reading for the month of September 2015. And we're both going to be reading from different oracles. And I'm reading from the numerology cards. And Maria?
And I'm reading from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck.
Awesome. Okay, so we are actually going to be doing something unique and different because we can. And we're going to be reading off of two different spreads. So Maria's going to be using a spread, and why don't you tell about your spread?
My spread's going to focus on 4 different areas: career, finances, health, and relationships.
And mine is going to be a little more esoteric as it is. I'm going to be focusing on the lessons for the month, the current energy that's here, current energy that's moving out, and what you might expect for maybe any events or challenges, unexpected events or challenges. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so we're going to shuffle the cards 3 times, and then we're going to start. And there we go. Since this is a, please keep in mind this is a general spread for the month. So let's see what the universe has to bring you, divas and divas. Okay, so here we go. And I'll go first. So the lesson for this month is going to be environment reversed. So it is a number 44 card, and this is a reminder of reverses. So when I see reverses, it's pretty typical that it might be a red flag or something that you need to pay attention to. Doesn't matter what oracle deck you're reading from or what you're using. When I see reverses, though, that kind of indicates to me that you need to be kind of pay attention to that. So we know that the energy is coming in, and it's going to be about business. There's a Mercury retrograde coming in. So the environment that it's reversed, and it's a 44. 4s are about foundation. They're also about safety in some situations. Since it's reversed, might maybe want to take a look at what's going on for the lesson, which is kind of get your ducks in an order, get your ducks in a row. When we think about 4, we think about the 4 squares. So that's when we talk about our foundation. So maybe the lesson for this month is get organized. What do you think? I need to get organized too.
Yes, and
okay.
I'm also getting it's not just in one particular area, because my first card is a star, and it's also reversed.
Ah,
So I'm
okay.
also getting to just be mindful of your surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
and your environment, and also looking at people, and they want you to be the star, but the fact that it's reversed is just telling you to just be careful of people that might be blocking or slowing you down, or
especially around your career.
around your career as well.
Okay, so
And also speak your truth.
so somebody might want to snatch your star from you. A star snatcher. Okay, so you got to be aware of those star snatchers. All right, so the second card for me is the current energy of the month. And what did Sandra warn us last month was stubbornness. This one might be pride. It is reversed. So, and actually, since it is reversed, maybe the pride is leaving. Maybe you've just really got a dose of reality from last month's energy. And it is a number 19, which reduces to 10, which goes to 1. So maybe you got a few lessons last month. And so you're kind of, the energy for this month is about realizing that maybe it's not such a good place to be if you're going to be prideful. That might actually have usually has a hindrance or a backflow effect on you, right?
The second card is around your finances, and it's the 10 of Wands. And usually when it's reversed, I see this as maybe it's been a struggle for you in these past few months to get the upper hand in your finances. But when it's reversed, it's kind of like the wands are falling out. So it may not be as difficult this month. And also expect opportunities to ease around your finances to help you out this month.
Very good. Well, we like that. All right, the current energy, the energy that's on its way out and coming in. Synchronicity, 87. So 14, 15, 15, and 6. So synchronicity is just about You know, I don't think there's any synchronicity in the universe. I think just things happen, right? I think they happen for a reason. So since it is the 6th, though, I think the universe is really just talking about the energy of nurturing. And when we talk about what's going out and what's coming in, maybe this month is really about nurturing yourself and nurturing relationships. Sandra did say that we might be getting challenged with relationships. So really be thinking in terms of, you know, when we look at the 6, it looks like a mother that has a womb that has a child in it. So it's really about nurturing maybe the energy of creativity, because this is the month of creativity. Maybe just nurturing yourself and also nurturing those around you. Very good.
Okay, and for your 3rd card has to do with health, and I think it ties in well with what Mary said. It's the Hermit. So spending some time alone, looking at decisions in regards to eating and exercising. And as you get more outdoors on your own, I think a lot of messages will come to you and will shed some clarity and some light on what you're currently going through. So spend some time alone reflecting on the past, but also what you can do to move forward.
Very good. And also when I'm looking at that, that's a major arcana card. And you don't have, looking at the spreads that she has 2 of them. So in that regard, what I'm also thinking is that, you know, you have to do something to feed your soul. Because really the light that the Hermit's holding is about the light that's shining from your soul. So introspective work around maybe dieting or something like that, all the fun stuff that we kind of really don't like to do, but we must do, right?
Exercising.
Yeah, exercising, right. Okay, so the last card that I have, unexpected events and our challenges. So 13, lucky number 13 is effort. So where do you need to tighten up your effort? 1 and 3 is 4. So again, this maybe ties back to the environment, right? So where do we maybe need to start putting a little more effort into what's going on? Maybe we need to start reflecting on exactly what effort means, because effort can be very subjective, right? I mean, you could be efforting in one thing and then I would be efforting another thing, and it might totally look different. So where are you putting your efforts? And again, since it's number 4, to me it's working through the self, the number 1, and then 3 for the creativity, equaling the 4. So really your foundation and putting effort toward that.
And your last card is the 2 of Wands, and it is right side up, and it has to do with relationships. He has the globe in his hand, so I think he's just really looking at his current relationships and seeing if there are good or bad, and making a decision that's going to benefit him. He's looking out, and looking out means like looking big picture, looking out into the future. So it's just really taking a look at your relationships and looking at their foundation and seeing if they tie into your future.
Oh, I like that. If they tie into your future, because you know what? It really is about your own path and how you feel about yourself, and this is how really the mechanisms of life work. When you feel really good about yourself, things feel almost effortlessly. You feel like you're on top of the world and you can conquer whatever comes your way. So we hope you enjoyed this segment, and we'll see you shortly. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back with our reading segment, and today we have an in-studio guest, Celina. We'll be giving her a reading today. We're actually going to start with Sandra first, and off camera we've given Sandra the information for Celina's birth, time, year, place, etc. So Sandra's going to start on your birth chart, and she's going to work on that first, and then we're going to start her reading, and she'll join us in just a few minutes. Okay? All right. So how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Well, welcome.
Thank
You
you.
ever been in a Diva Den before, honey?
No.
No, okay, all right. So this is the first time for everything. All right, so today we're going to give you a reading. And what area are you reading in?
Money.
Money. Okay, so finances. Do you have a particular question around your finances?
Just kind of what the next couple months are going to look like.
Okay,
All this
perfect.
change.
Alrighty, sure. So here's what we're going to do. Maria's going to be reading from
The Soul Journey cards by James Van Praagh.
Awesome. And I'm going to be reading from the standard Rider-Waite Tarot deck. And then so we're going to give you a reading from two different perspectives. Okay, and again, Sandra will join us in a few minutes with the astrology portion of your reading. Okay, and this is what we call AstroBlend. So let's go. And so what's your exact question that we can answer for you tonight?
What do you see as far as like the outlook with finances? Like, do you think it's going to be really positive, or do I need to be prepared for a bumpy road?
Okay, all right. So let's just let's reframe that just a little bit about what will be the outlook. Let's look at 3 months. Really, honestly, I think that going out further than 3 months is not going to be fortuitous for you. So looking out 3 months, let's take a look at the forecast there. Okay, all right. So we're going to shuffle the cards 3 times. I know some of the viewers on other stations have accused the readers of not doing this real time, but we are shuffling here in our laps 3 times to get the answer, divine the answer from the tarot. The spread we'll be using today is what you need to realize, accept, acknowledge, and do. Okay, so this will give you some clarity around your path and what you need to do around finances. Okay, so we're just going to lay the cards out. All right. So I'll go ahead and go first, if that's okay with you. So what you just kind of need to realize around finances is that it is the 7 of Cups reversed. And in the 7 of Cups, normally upright, that would indicate that you just have a lot of choices and you might be overwhelmed. So with the 7 of Cups, it's kind of right now a chance for you to really define and clarify what is it that you're looking for from the universe. The cups indicate emotion, so if you're kind of being emotional, like frightened or fearful around what your plans are, it honestly is going to kind of block you a little bit. So just if you can maybe just have a focus of where you want to go with your path, and then kind of figure out from there. So perhaps picking a job area that you want to focus on. That might really help your first step. Okay, Maria.
So I got the grief card, and the grief is kind of using this time right now to put things in perspective and see clarity and look for the direction that you want to go. This is the time to do it.
Yeah.
So just start looking in areas that you're interested in and passionate about, and that'll start opening more doors for you.
And you know, with the grief card as well, you just want to make sure that you're not going into some kind of grief set or sorrow set, you know. If you can look at this as a journey, have adventure around it, kind of look at it as because you took a huge risk coming here. Right, okay. So the thing is, just honestly, just kind of have fun with it and just enjoy the journey. Remember to look back and look forward to something, right? Instead of kind of getting stuck in your own energy around it, okay? Very good. All right. So the next card is the 2 of Wands. And the 2 of Wands is about, well, Wands are about opportunities, and 2 is about partnerships. So the universe is kind of wanting to partner with you. And if we look at the 2 of Wands, he actually has the universe in his hand. So really, what is the opportunity that you're looking for? What is it around finances? I feel like you need a job, and that feels like the immediate thing for you. What are you getting?
I'm also getting the same thing. Your card for accept is adversity. So just know that the challenges that you are going to face is just preparing you for where you need to go. So if you take that outlook as preparation and not so much as a challenge and not allowing fear to kick in, you're gonna have fun with it and be able to roll with it.
And again, it's about the journey, right? So all things that are adverse teach us great lessons, right? So, you know, in that, you might as well have some fun with it, right? Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles arrives, and this is the knight that comes in on the largest horse that there is. This is not a horse that's actually in action. It's actually just standing there with a pentacle. So he does have a pentacle in hand, which is money. And so the Knight of Pentacles is actually not moving in any direction. What have you done thus far to move into action? And this is really what the card is asking you. What do you need to do? What's the first step that you can take to kind of move into action?
Okay, and Doom
the
card is
regret
a
card.
regret card.
Okay. All right.
So you might be teeter-tottering back and forth in the decision that you made. And
Do you feel like that's true?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's right, but it's because it's such a financial, like, it's just me.
Yeah.
Like, there's nobody to, like, fall back on. It's just me, so that's why it's kind of scary.
Okay, so here's, speaking on those terms then, find community. You know, don't feel like you have to go through this alone. You have guides, you have angels, you have support around you. So don't feel like this is all on yourself, because then it really starts putting pressure on you, and then honestly, it does start to block you. So
Yes.
so don't do that, okay? The last card that we have for taking some action step is the Ten of Wands. The interesting thing is she's got actually, the Ten of Wands reverse is saying that you're really ready to kind of let this go, let the burden go, and not to carry this. I'm thinking like not to overthink this, not to get in some kind of a panic where you're really not able to think yourself out of it, right? So if you can unhinge yourself emotionally and take a step back and really kind of think in logical steps of what you need to do. You have a place you're staying currently, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have that for, feels like a 6 around it. So how long are you able to stay there? Like, it feels like a longer time period, so maybe like 6 weeks, 6 months?
More like, yeah, 6 weeks right now.
Okay, all right, so you know what, just be thinking and maybe in chunks of time, and that might just kind of help you. So that's why with 3 months, you don't really want to go 3 months out too much, more than that, because things in the universe are so fluid that I would just honestly take a look at 3 months in increments.
Okay. The last card I have for you is peace. So just be at peace with the decision that you made. You didn't come to this decision out of thin air.
Unless you did you come out of thin air? Did you magically appear out of thin air? No, it didn't. Okay. So you thought about it. Okay.
So just be at peace with it and kind of look at everything from that angle and that aspect.
And again, I think it comes back to the spiritual quota, which is, you know, there has to be a certain amount of trust. And this is going to show up, faith and trust are going to show up big time for you, right? So now we're going to go to Sandra, and she's going to tell us. Hi, Sandra. How are you? Welcome, Diva. Sandra's going to give us your astrological report.
So I just love it. At the moment that she asked the question, the transiting ascendant was right on her second house cusp, which is what rules finances, personal finances. So it was just like, look at that. I can see a number of things here, and I know, Mary, you said you didn't want to go too far out, but I saw something that I really want to mention. And that is that you're just about ready in the next year and a half to have your Saturn return. And that's a biggie. That's when you leave your young adulthood and move into maturity and begin to take responsibility for what you have done with the last 15 years of your life, and recognize that you're now on a new 29 to 30 year journey. And it's sobering. I mean, that's how it feels, and you're right on the brink of that, and with it comes a huge sense of responsibility, which is interesting that Mary was talking about that. And again, it's that same thing. This is like, if you let the fear get to you, then it can be awful. If you recognize that it's a real growing stage, and that you are moving positively into your future, then it's a great thing and a great experience, because whatever you fear becomes your greatest strength if you work with it. The cool thing is, by the end of this month, transiting Jupiter is going to be into your first house, and you'll start having a much more positive outlook. I kind of see that even though we're telling you all this stuff, you're going to feel confused through the rest of this month. And but toward the end of it, you'll start to take a breath and feel like there's a lot more promise. I'm going to add one short thing, and what I see financially, just how you handle money, is that you have a real good, you're a Scorpio, you've got Pluto conjunct your sun, you know how to handle money, you know how to manipulate it. Unless your emotions kick in. And then when your emotions get activated, you can just go on little spending sprees.
Okay. Morning.
So that's the one thing I would say right now is that just because you start to feel threatened and scary, don't let that push you into one of your, oh, I'm just going to ignore it all and have a good time.
She's laughing, so I think we might have got onto something. That's really funny.
So I'm saying do what Mary says and have fun with it and play, but don't let yourself go wild. Because it is a time of sober responsibility, and you're going to get through it great.
And I feel like, too, I'm getting, though, the words buyer's remorse. So it almost feels a little bit like, in this time, because it's so new, why did I do this to myself? But I really honestly feel like this is the time for you. This is the time for her to really start branching out. And like Sandra said, this is about you coming into maturation. This is coming as a transformation for you, you know, little butterfly. This is a transformation for you. So I feel all this is good. So I really feel like you have a high sense of intuition, and I feel like you just need to trust and have faith, okay? And don't again feel like it's all on you. Like you're alone. You have friends, you have family. Maybe they're not surrounding you, but you do have support, okay? So you won't be walking through this alone, okay? All right. Well, thank you, and we will be back with our next segment shortly. Hi, we're back with our reading segment, and our guest today is Michelle. Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello, everyone.
So, are you ready for your reading?
Most definitely.
Okay. So, Sandra has been given your birth chart information, so she'll work on your birth chart, and she'll come back and join us in the latter part of this reading. And Maria and I are going to give you a reading from two different oracles. Today I'm going to be using the numerological oracle cards.
And I'll be using the Wider Range Tarot cards.
Okay. So you have a question in what area today? Career, finance, health, or relationship?
Yep. So career.
Okay, perfect.
I'm self-employed, and things are slow right now.
Okay.
Very slow.
All right. So, do you have an exact question around your career then?
Yes. Will things pick up? And there's one particular company that I'm looking at, hoping to have that grow, and just wondering what you see about that.
Okay. All right. So that's actually a two-part question. So, of those two parts, what's the most important part that you want to know about?
Will my business pick up?
Okay. All right. So let's just start in that area. We're going to shuffle some cards. The spread I think that we'll be using for you, because it kind of feels like there's just a block in the energy of it moving forward. So we'll use a 3-card spread today, and we'll talk about where you currently are, where you'd like to be, and what's blocking the energy from coming in for you. Okay, so we're going to shuffle now and pull some cards for you. All right. Okay, so I'll be leading off the reading, and the first card that I have is a 99, and it's the compassion card. So if you're looking at this card, the 9 is endings, and we always know once there's an ending, there's a new beginning that's coming in. So your guides are basically trying to tell you to have some compassion for yourself. I feel like there's maybe just a lot of beating yourself up, like, and I think part of this is coming from fear. So just to really come from a compassionate place, know that this will all work out in timing. I suspect the part of this is probably astrological. So when Sandra comes back in, she'll give us some more information about what's going on, and I think this might offer you some more clarity. Maria?
Okay, and for your first card, I got the Page of Cups, and it is reversed. And as you can, what I'm looking at is a man, and he's staring at a cup with the fish in it. So it's a lot of self-reflecting, looking at the decisions that you've made, and also it does go along the lines of what Mary had said, beating yourself up and maybe having a little bit of a negative outlook on where you're currently at with your business.
Okay, so also the Page of Cups with the Cup card is about emotion. So whatever's going on right now has literally thrown you for a loop. And I just really feel like, especially with the fish in the cup, it's kind of like, I just want to say that to really listen to your divine guidance, to really check within and not kind of, if you can, go into a fear space around this. So I know it's tough as a solopreneur we've got to kind of just weather the storm. I feel like you can get through this, and you're just going to have to actually, this is going to be like a test of faith, you know. So the fish in the cup is actually a messenger. So it's really a messenger about, you know, your guides maybe trying to give you some guidance, and so maybe trying to really just check in with the guides around this, okay? The second card is where you would like to be, and it is a reversed environment. So the environment card is a 44. A lot of double numbers, which is very interesting in this spread. So you had a 99 that went with compassion, and then you have a 44 now that is playing off of that. So it's also just might be the environment. To me, this means or feels like you might want to switch up perhaps either the niche you were doing or that the company that you were specifically focusing on. It feels like maybe you're transitioning into maybe some expansion in your business. So if there's not something that you've really thought about expanding in or opening, just honestly looking into the box and expanding and not being in a space of fear, but expansion, I think that's going to really help you. So to me, it feels like your environments, since it's reversed cards are about taking really a look at, they're like almost like not red flags, but something you need to kind of keep aware of. So it feels like in your environment, maybe something has to shift for you in order for for business to start coming in for you. How interesting the card you got. Okay.
I got the 8 of Wands, and it is reversed. And wands have to do with business and opportunities. So the fact that it's reversed means that there's some reflections that you have to do in regards to which direction you want to go in. And once you do that, there will be opportunities that will be presented to you.
And the interesting thing about this card is when it is upright, it means things are up in the air. They haven't landed. The fact that it is reversed and it's coming right off of the Page of Cups, to me, means that things are going to start landing for you. So this is we're looking at the spread 3 months out. So keep that in the back of your mind, okay? The last card is the block. So it's a 27, it's a spiritual partnership card. And to me, that means just, you know, maybe the block is that you're just kind of feeling like you're alone. You have to kind of do this all on your own. Really check back into faith. Really know that the universe always conspires to help us, even though it seems like a harsh lesson sometimes. It kind of reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune, right? The wheel turns around. It's cyclical. We don't know where it might land, but it always ends up uprighting itself in some time.
Okay, and the last card I got for you is the Judgment card, and it was a right side up. And as you can see, there's people surrounded by the angel. I think it does tie in well with partnership and looking for others for support and ideas and opportunities. To not be afraid to reach out.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, because it is the Judgment card, maybe not being too harsh on yourself, not judging yourself, right? So, all right, so that was the reading portion of it. Now we're going to go to Sandra to finish up your reading.
Okay. Hi, Michelle. I don't think I really said aloha before.
Aloha.
I'm looking at your chart, and a couple of things are standing out to me, so I'll try to take them one at a time. First of all, you are just about to have a Mars transit to your Mars. And Mars is the planet of work, and your Mars is in the 10th house of career. So I'm not surprised by your question being about work. When you have a Mars return, that happens about every 2.5 years. And some aspect of our work changes roughly every 2.5 years. We may be doing the same job, but the focus of it will shift just a little bit. So this tells me that that's where you are right now, is about ready to let one facet, maybe whatever's been going on in the last 2.5 years, and about to begin a new one. but you're still at the end, so you can't really tell what that new direction is. But what's so exciting is that there's a Venus-Mars conjunction going on at the end, right now, and that's touching your Mars. There's just so much creative energy right now. It's just a matter of whether or not you're comfortable tuning into it. It may be a little hard to separate reality from what you'd like it to be. But right now, let your imagination run wild with what it could be, because there's so much potential in that. So that's what I see about your business immediately. I also see that you're having, and this is just kind of an aside, you're having what's called a Chiron return. Happens to most women right around between the age of 50 and 52, 53. I have worked with this for a number of years and see that Chiron return as a blossoming of creative feminine energy. So no matter what direction your career takes from now on, it's just going to have a new burst of energy to it. And now I'll come back to the way things have been the last 2.5 years. You have had Saturn going through your second house of income. So everything slows down and it feels hard. I'm going to tell you that the first 2 weeks of January, things are going to shift. And if I were you, I'd just put all that energy into my creative potential between now and then. Don't be fearful, but do be realistic. But things are going to shift, and you'll have a sense of that new direction and a new and I believe new facets of income. That one's a little hard for me to tell. That's a little far out, but definitely come 3 months from now, you're going to have a totally different attitude.
Very interesting. And I also have found that to be true with the Chiron. It is actually time when things just blossom. You're not there yet. You're too young to know that. But when you get there, honey, let us know, because I'm sure it will happen the same for you. But does any of that make sense for you, Michelle?
Yes, it does. You know, the astrological reading is absolutely right. Things that I have been doing for the last 2.5 years have been coming to an end, and I definitely need to take a look at things a little differently. So this has been extremely helpful, ladies. Thank you so much.
You're very, very welcome.
My pleasure.
And I just pulled one last card just to kind of close the reading for you. And the last card I have is change, number 5. And 5 is the number of change. It's also the number of freedom. If you look at the number 5, it's the only number that sits back and forth and can rock. So it really talks about being fluid in your energy, with the fluid of change. It's also reverse. So to me, this signifies again, something might have to change a little bit. You might have to really think again outside the box in your spiritual partnership and how that all works for you. So just want to leave you with this last kind of information. Just be patient. Be patient and kind with yourself. Be compassionate with yourself. I think during these times we have a tendency to beat ourselves up, you know, for what we aren't or what we can't do. This again is going to shift much like the Wheel of Fortune. So we hope that this reading was helpful to you. Thank you very much for spending time with us today, and wishing you well. And we might actually have you come back on the show if you'd be interested to give us maybe in about a month's time a recap of what maybe perhaps shifted for you, or if you'd like to talk about your reading a little bit. If that sounds interesting to you, just let me know and we'll have you back on the show.
Great. Thank you very much, ladies. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate the assistance. And I think the fact that that you called when you called was extremely timely. I had just walked in from church.
So very good. So, you know, divine timing, right?
I had not kept up with my calendar, and did not realize the call was going to come in so early, but as I say this, I get goosebumps, and I would be happy to give you a progress report in 4 to 5 weeks from now. But thank you for your guidance and your help, and your encouragement.
Oh, you're so welcome. Well, such a blessing, and thank you very much. Have a good day.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.